Captain Marvel is right around the corner, and a lot of people are discussing whether Captain Marvel will be the MCU's first flop. The debate of which film will be Marvel's first flop has been ongoing for years, with Ant-Man probably being the first film hotly tipped to be a dud for Marvel. But Ant-Man proved the naysayers wrong and ended up being another hit for Marvel. A lot though recently has made people start to say that Captain Marvel could be a failure, with the percentage of fans who want to see the film at 39%, with news reporting this is online trolls driving the audience score down. Personally, I do think Captain Marvel is at risk of being a flop for the MCU, and in this video I just want to go through the reasons I believe this may happen and then summarise completely at the end. So let's just jump in. The marketing for Captain Marvel has been lackluster, to say the least. Many fans and critics have commented on the uninteresting trailers, failing to generate much buzz around the film, something which really doesn't help a film attempting to introduce a new character into the MCU. If we look at a previous trailer from Phase 2 onwards that introduced new characters, these were all highly praised trailers, with plaudits towards the visuals, tone, and the whole general feel of the film being interesting. Compare that with the Captain Marvel trailers, which offer very little in plot points, charismatic acting, and having a colour grading of pure concrete. The moment which was meant to be the standout moment for the Captain Marvel trailers fell flat. It was an entirely CGI moment, which was pretty unimpressive. For me, I found the trailers fairly uninspiring and haven't generated much interest for me in the film, but I'm a fan and I'll see this film regardless. For general audience members, however, there isn't much going on in these trailers that will pull you in. Marvel went for the marketing tactic of this being a female-led superhero film, but with Wonder Woman already beating Captain Marvel to the punch, this isn't enough for audience members to be intrigued to see the film, and the trailers need to grasp the general public's interest to want to see this film and want to see a new hero introduced into the MCU. Trailers have a very tricky job in not showing too many plot points, but need to summarise the plot for audience members to want to see a film. Guardians of the Galaxy did this perfectly. The trailer introduced all the characters, we got an understanding of what type of film this would be, and we understood the characteristics of each character. With Captain Marvel, people don't really understand who the character is, what she's all about, or her motivations. They showed far too little in these trailers and probably need to show a little bit more just to pique that audience interest. Brie Larson hasn't exactly adored herself to fans. She has gone on a one-woman political brigade, constantly in interviews bringing up the fact this is a female-led superhero film, and most recently and controversially mentioned how she wanted the journalists to be a mixture of ethnic backgrounds. The actors behind the Marvel films have always done well to be charismatic, likeable, fun people. Actors and actresses like Chris Pratt, Chadwick Boseman, Scarlett Johansson and Robert Downey Jr. have done fantastic in interviews, coming across as very fun, happy people, which really captures audiences' attention. If we take for example Chadwick Boseman, who starred in Black Panther, the first black-led superhero film since Blade. On the press tours, Chadwick Boseman wasn't so on the nose with discussing the issue of race and the honour of being the first black man to lead an MCU film. He generally just seemed delighted to be in a Marvel film and was honoured to be inspiring black people across the globe. There wasn't a one-man political brigade. This is again the same with Gal Gadot, the first woman to lead a superhero film. She again simply discussed the honour that came with being the first woman to lead a superhero film, and that she hopes to inspire women across the world, and that she simply really enjoyed playing the character. Compare that to Brie Larson, who has brought a massive discussion about feminism to Captain Marvel, which is a valid discussion, but also discussing race amongst various other topics probably isn't a discussion for a superhero film. Audiences don't like this on-the-nose political discussion. The majority of people, myself included, see Brie Larson actress, not some political activist. She shouldn't be bringing such heavy political discussion into a film about people in space. People see her as self-righteous, obnoxious, and arrogant due to a constant political conversation, instead of simply discussing how excited she is to be in a Marvel film and joining the wider MCU. It's a shame Brie Larson has had to bring such deep political conversation into a film which is about escaping into a different world and switching off from the world we currently live in. Instead, she's taken off some gloss from the film, and audiences will forever be reminded that Brie Larson is on a political charge, and this film helped her bring her views to the forefront. The problem is, Marvel films rely a lot on their star power and their actors and actresses being able to spread the word of their film in a positive manner. Brie Larson is failing in this regard, and she is coming across as very self-righteous and promoting a different topic from the film. She just needs to focus on promoting Captain Marvel and then having some small discussion about being the first female to lead an MCU film. This is no secret. The audience score of Who Wants to Watch Captain Marvel is down at around 38%, the lowest audience score since 2008's The Incredible Hulk, the lowest grossing MCU film. Of course, a large percentage of this will be down to internet trolls who don't share the same political beliefs as Brie Larson, and people who are just downright sexist. But I do think this is a worrying percentage for Marvel. Although Black Panther experienced something similar in terms of online trolls bad-mouthing the film, Black Panther didn't experience such a bad attack as Captain Marvel was experiencing. Of course, Rotten Tomatoes is no way to measure a film and how a film does on the site is no way a sign of how successful a film will be. But I do think Marvel should have some concern at the extent of the backlash Captain Marvel is experiencing, as currently no previous Marvel film has had such bad press to this extent. This terrible initial reception to the release is a sign that actually a large following of people are not interested in Captain Marvel, and you can't put this all down to internet trolls, as I'm sure there are genuine people out there who do not want to see the film. The trailers, as mentioned, are uninspiring, and fans don't seem to be hyped about the world building which is going on in Captain Marvel, compared say to Black Panther, which had fans really hyped about how this film would expand the Marvel universe. The Rotten Tomatoes audience percentage is a worrying percentage for the film. Come on, this is a Marvel film. It's probably going to be hugely successful. Marvel films always do fantastically well. By now, we know they have the formula down to a T on how to make great films time and time again. Marvel have shown to be great decision makers on plot and characters and general universe building. I'm sure Captain Marvel will be no different. Early reviews have suggested that Captain Marvel is a fantastic film and is another surefire hit for Marvel. Once the film is released and word of mouth begins to travel, I am almost certain Captain Marvel will win big at the box office. Being largely unchallenged in this March period, Captain Marvel is sure to take the box office by storm until Endgame is released, and again Marvel will dominate the box office once more. Captain Marvel has a cast of hugely talented actors in Brie Larson, Jude Law and Samuel L. Jackson, who are more than capable of leading a big budget film. We have returning characters also in Ronan the Accuser and Korath from Guardians of the Galaxy. There are new villains being introduced into the MCU with the Skrulls, a shape-shifting race who are able to mimic the abilities of anyone they change into, and it's opened up the possibility of our long-established heroes being Skrulls this whole time. The introduction of the Skrulls will definitely help in the world building for the Marvel Universe, so I'm really excited to see them come to the screen. Not to mention the MCU has a loyal fan base who will see anything they release due to their loyalty, no matter what their pre-existing thoughts on quality of the film might be. I think it's safe to say that whilst Captain Marvel may not be the MCU's biggest ever hit, it almost certainly will not be a failure, and a lot of people who are reporting that the film will fail are being more hopeful of a failure, with many people being motivated by their dislike of Brie Larson and are trying to badmouth the film with very little evidence to go on that the film will actually be bad. Not to mention, the film has been reported to have a $150 million box office opening weekend, so doesn't seem like too much of a failure to me. Thank you for watching.